the Standing Finance Committee of the
Honourable
Parliament.
members, we have 3 small heads that we could dispatch before we go into the Ministry of Food Production, and I seek your indulgence here. And the first one is the Service Commissions Department. Or we're going with CPO first. We're going with Personnel Department, Service Commissions after, and the Statutory Authorities Service Commission. Right? Now, honourable members, that is head 17. That's page. What page? Page 60, recurrent expenditure, and page 54, development program. Okay, so members are guided accordingly. It is head 17, Personnel Department. I will now, honourable members, head 17, Personnel Department, $126,570,700. I will now invite the Honourable Minister of Public Administration, who is responsible for these agencies, has some role with to deal with these agencies, to make, if she so desires, a brief opening statement for no more than 5 minutes as it relates to the Personnel Department at this time. And maybe what you can do, seeing that the next two, no, just the Personnel Department. Honourable Minister, would you like to make a statement?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We are ready. I just want to say I have here with me the Chief Personnel Officer, Ms. Stephanie Lewis, and the Deputy himself, Mr. Beresford Riley. So, Mr. Speaker, we are ready for the questions.
All right. So, honourable members, the question is that the sum of $126,570,700 for head 17, the Personnel Department, stand part of the schedule. Honourable members, the sum of yes, the sum of $126,570,700 for head 17 is comprised of monies proposed for expenditure under the subheads and items found in both the draft estimates of recurrent expenditure as well as the development program. We now go to subhead 01, Personnel Expenditure, Item 1, General Administration. I recognize the Honourable Member for Diego Martin North East.
Mr. Chairman, could I find out what is the establishment at the Personnel Department? How many staff members and contracted employees the department is supposed to have?
Yes, Honourable Minister of Public Administration.
Okay, 160 on the establishment, and in terms of contract positions, we have 33, which have already received cabinet approval, and we have another 48, which is going into what we call a 6-year contract plan.
Okay, so that's a total of how much?
160 plus
Total.
160 plus 33, 160 in the establishment, so that's 193, okay? And then we have 48 that has been proposed on contract.
230?
About that, yeah.
How many bodies do you have in posts?
These are 43 vacant posted bodies.
But that is the 43 with that's established.
Yeah, 43 vacant posted bodies. 39
Okay, we have 43 vacant posts with bodies in them, and we have 39 vacant posts without bodies.
But that's only 80. What about, it's 230 positions you spoke of.
Yeah,
So of the 230 approved posts that you have, how many have bodies in them? Out of the 230?
no, we have to earn 30, what we just gave you, you have to add on the vacants onto them. Yeah?
213 plus 40 that we don't have approval for.
Yeah, let me just say it, take out the 48, as I mentioned earlier, that we don't have approval for yet. It's going into the 6-year contract plan, which will go to cabinet for approval. So go with the 81 plus, the 33 plus the
160.
Of all,
193.
of all the positions that are approved now and the positions you hope to fill, how many of them are empty, vacant?
Let me see these positions you have vacant. 43.
43 plus 39.
Yeah. Okay. Let's deal with established positions first. So let's go back. We have 160 established positions. Out of that, you have 43 vacant, but with people acting in them. And then you have another 39, which is vacant without any bodies in it.
Right, and of the other 70 positions?
Of the other 33 approved contract positions, okay, those are filled. Are they filled? Not all? How many do we have? Can we get that information to you?
And the others obviously not filled.
The 48, no, that is now in the process of, they don't exist. We are now in the process of creating those positions.
So you're talking about 100 existing and potential vacancies then? You need about 100 more people, that's what
Yeah.
you're saying? Is this why there's such a backlog with the preparation of contracts for public servants and contract employees?
Yes, yes, that is.
That's the reason?
There's a shortage.
But isn't it your department responsible for hiring people? Aren't you responsible for hiring yourself? Who does hiring? Isn't it the personnel department?
The Service Commission's
Okay,
department.
who is the support unit for the service commission?
No,
Isn't it
the-
the personnel department?
No, Service Commissions have to be the one, and that's the issue you would have seen going right through it all the ministries.
Who is the liaison between the Ministry of Public Administration and the Service Commission? Not the personnel department? There's no relationship between the personnel department and the Service Commission?
There's a relationship, but that is when matters may be referred to them for comment on issues of the.
Service Commission is.
What's the function of the personnel department?
Its terms and conditions.
Sorry,
What's the function of the personnel department?
Let me hear what you're saying, sorry.
What is the function?
What's the purpose of the personnel
The
department?
personnel department is to determine terms and conditions. And terms and conditions for whether they are established positions, as you would know, they carry out negotiations, wage negotiations. From time to time, they would have to look at classification of positions in order to determine if you really need to revise the remuneration package for established positions. And when we're dealing with contract positions, they determine the terms and conditions for contract positions.
And they do job evaluation exercises
And they do
also?
job evaluation
Like
exercises.
the one that's supposed to have been done for parliamentarians for all these years?
Yes, but
What is keeping that back?
that is a SRC, but Mr. Speaker, I think we need to stay on the.
No, it's this is personnel expenditure.
but
Staffing
I'm
is
saying-
directly related.
That's an operational issue.
No.
We have the budgets for it.
No.
You either agree with the budget or you don't agree with
In
the budget.
fact, if you go down the line, what I'm suggesting, member, let me just suggest, as you go through the budget items, there are other areas again that you will come under the development program. You will see that there's monies budgeted for a project under PSIP for the very same project you're referring to.
How are you going to deal with this problem of not finalizing terms and conditions of people within the government service? Since you're missing 100 bodies, how are you going to deal with it?
Terms and
There's
conditions.
a huge backlog. I know people working 2-3 contracts, working for 9 years and they can't get a contract.
And Minister, if I may, member, let me just say that during the budget contribution, I explained some of the strategies that we are deploying to expedite the terms and conditions through standardization of contracts, which the CPO's office together, the personnel department, together with the Ministry of Public Administration, has established a project which was allowed to standardize many of these contract positions so that we have standard terms and conditions so that people know their terms and conditions before they even come onto the job. And we have done that for 49 positions. And secondly, the area of the backlog itself, we have established a project and we have cleared 1,400 or so of the backlog. Now, you're quite right. It was really an appalling situation when we looked at that we inherited, when we looked at the number of people who were on contract for 10 years and had no terms and conditions determined. And yes, we are going forward, and I had outlined that in detail with respect to the backlog
I noticed
project.
Minister Cadiz, for some reason, is thanking you. I don't know why.
No, but
you
okay,
said you cleared a backlog of 1,400.
we are continuing to
What's the remaining backlog?
How many do we have on the backlog? I mentioned it in the debate, Minister, member.
Remind me now.
Yeah, I can't remember. I can't recall now. I'll get it back to you.
You
but
don't know what
I
the
will put-
backlog is?
I cleared 14. We
I
cleared
better let somebody else
1,400 in the backlog.
I'll let somebody else talk.
I will
Mr.
pull the
Chair.
Hansard for you if you want.
I'll let somebody else talk since
Right.
the minister doesn't know.
Okay, the
How many
Hansard.
public servants working without a contract?
Yes, I recognize the member for St. Joseph.
Thank you. Honorable Minister, of the 43 vacant positions that you have acting bodies in, whose responsibility is it to transfer these people from acting to a state of permanence? Which department sees about that?
What is that, the Service Commission positions, right? Service Commission's department.
Right. And how long have these 43 people been acting, and has the Service Commission been responsive to your overtures?
We have been trying to get these positions filled, our vacant positions filled for a number of years. We got a few filled at the entry level recently. And we now before the commission to advertise
The others, yeah. Okay.
The Honourable Minister.
Member for St. Joseph, we have been trying for a number of years. I'm informed, I'm advised by the CPO that she has been, urging the Service Commission's department. We have gotten some at the entry level, but the others, is there a promise, is there a commitment now that we'll be able to get it possibly within the next year? And this is why you will note that you do have allocations. The requests have been made for the rest of the positions to be filled.
Because, Honorable Minister, the issue of the service commissions has been cropping up time and time again.
Yeah.
And it seems to be a fly in the ointment in having positions filled.
Hold your fire on Service Commission. They are coming.
Okay. Let me ask another question. Of the 39 positions where you have no one acting, what is the modus operandi there now? What steps are you taking to at least fill those permanently or with acting bodies? You said you have 39 positions, 39 vacancies with no one.
Some of them may have to be abolished because they may be outdated.
Right.
So they may have to be abolished. I can always forward that information, the details on the 39 positions to you. But again, 2 requests have been made to the Service Commission to have them filled. Whatever remains, that it will not be abolished, we have made a request to the Service Commission.
But Chair, I will take your advice and hold my fire for the Service Commission.
Okay, we go to Subhead 02, Goods and Services, Item 1, General Administration. Member of Parliament for Laventille West.
Chair, item 08. We are seeing where in 2014, rental of office space, 19 million. But in 2015, we're looking at 58.9 million. Can Minister indicate what is the reason for that increase? If it is that they are moving to a new building, where will that new building be? And who will be the landlords?
The Honourable Minister of Public
What's the
Administration.
landlord again for that? Okay. Well, the new building that they are moving into, and it's a factor, I think it's how many offices together?
It is 5 offices.
Yeah, 5 offices for the personnel department located in Port of Spain. We're able to get them to go into a building in Barataria. This was a building selected by the Properties and Real Estate Division of the Ministry of Housing. It includes an estimated cost. This is why you're seeing that increase for outfitting that new building. And there's an amortized rent in there for the rental cost, because the outfitting is going to be done by the owner, and therefore we will be amortizing that cost with an increased rental. The owner of the building is JV Holdings. JV Holdings.
Okay, I recognize, what was it,
G.
Diego Martin Central?
Just to be correct, is GV
Okay,
Holdings.
not you. The Honourable Member for St. Anne's East.
Chair, I'm looking at item number 16, contract employment. Mr. Minister, are there plans to take on new contract workers?
Honourable Minister.
Yeah. Yes, there are plans to take on new contract officers who are needed to perform functions of the department pending the appointment of persons to existing vacant positions. Yeah. Okay. Is that okay, member?
All right, we go to subhead 03, minor equipment purchases, item 1, general administration. We go to subheads 4, current transfer and subsidies, item 1, regional bodies, item 4, international bodies. We go to subhead 09, development program, item 5, multi-sectorial and other services. Any questions? I recognize the member for Aruka Maloney, Laventil West.
Mr. Chair, thank you. Sub-item 038, there is a $10 million allocation for the conduct of a job evaluation exercise for officers within the purview of the Public Service of the Salaries Review Commission, I think. Mr. Speaker, I would just like to find out if this is an ongoing exercise, and if not, exactly when would the evaluation exercise be complete?
Yes, Honourable Minister.
It started when? July.
Yes, no, yes, sometime.
The tendering process was commenced in July 2013. Four firms responded to the advertisements. The evaluation committee, comprising staff from the personnel department and a representative from the Central Tenders Board, was appointed in September 13, 2013. There was an evaluation of technical proposals, which was in October of 2013, and the committee completed its evaluation and submitted its report to the CTB in March of 2014. The evaluation committee commenced its deliberation on the financial proposal in April of 2014. Negotiation process started in June of 2014, and it is ongoing. In this regard, the committee has been seeking additional information or clarification from the preferred consultant on a number of issues, which I don't think you want. Do you want the details, member?
You could give them right.
We'd like to have
And
the
right.
details.
Mr. Chairman, could I come in on this item?
Sure.
We on 09 development program, 038. Did the minister just say it took 1 year to invite tenders? Is that what you said?
Yes.
To do the job evaluation exercise for our salaries? And you have not started yet? That's what you said?
Yes, the SRC.
So 1 year to start the process for a job evaluation exercise for officers within the purview of the SRC, and it has not begun. The actual physical work has not begun. That's what you're saying?
Yes.
Could we get full details so we could understand this calamity? And I notice the 2014 revised estimate for this item is $3 million. What is that spent on? $3 million, 038, $3 million revised estimate for 2014. What was that money spent on?
That wasn't been spent.
Yeah, they are.
There's no wonder we can't get better salaries and pension in here.
Member, that money has not been spent because it was, as I indicated, it was expected that the consultants would have been on board by July 2014. So when it was reviewed by the Ministry of Finance, but to date, all that has been spent is $8,214.
Think you will do anything in 2015 on this very important matter? Improve terms and conditions for people under the purview of the SRC?
Once we get the operating.
You spend a whole year and do nothing. Do you think you'll do something in 2015?
Yes, member.
What's your time frame?
I'm advised
Do you have a schedule?
I've been advised by the Chief Personnel Officer that they would be doing something in 2015. They are about to complete negotiations and
Mr. Chairman, through you, could I ask you, Minister, could you give us timelines, targets, objectives? What do you plan to do? When will you start? When will this exercise be completed?
Member, we will forward that information to you.
Do you have any idea when it will be completed?
A year from when it's
Will be forwarded.
This is involved.
The estimated time is 12 months from the start of the project.
So it won't be finished until next year, end of next year?
not in.
Well, we're in September, you know, and you ain't start yet.
We'll be forwarding the timelines for you,
This,
member.
Mr. Speaker, I can't stay here. This is just ridiculous. I think I'll go and have some tea.
Very good.
Any other questions? Okay. Honorable, the member for Love? Okay. Okay. Honorable members, the question is that the sum of $126,570,700 for head 17, personal department, stand part of the schedule. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. The sum of $126,570,700 for head 17, personnel department, now stands part of the schedule. Thank you very much, Honorable Personnel Department and the Chief Personnel Officer and the Deputy. And
Yeah,
staff.
Mr. Speaker, on behalf, I'd like to thank the members of the Personnel Department and the Chief and her Deputy for being here.
Thank you very much. We now go to the Service Commission. We invite Service Commission before this Standing Finance Committee to appear this time.
The Standing Finance Committee of the Parliament has just finished examining Head 17, that's the Personnel Department. A total of $126,570,700 has been added to the schedule under Head 17. Prior to that, the Ministry of Health, under its line Minister Dr. Fuad Khan, that's Head 28, a total of $4,554,142,700.
Advice. Honorable members, the question is that the sum of 91 million. Oh, you haven't found it. 28. Page 28. Yes, we know, but we are moving fast. Honorable members, the question is that the sum of $91,021,200 for Head 6, the Service Commissions, stand part of the schedule. Honorable members, the sum of $91,021,200 for Head 6, the Service Commissions, is comprised of monies proposed for expenditure under the following subheads, and items to be found in the draft estimates of the recurrent expenditure and the draft estimates of development program. Subhead 01, personal expenditure, item 1, general administration. I recognize the member for St. Joseph.
Thank you. Minister, under Service Commissions 01, sub 08, vacant posts. Are these vacant posts within the Service Commissions? Yes. Within the body of the Service Commission? Yes. Right, good. How many vacant posts are there, Honorable Minister?
You know how many vacant posts you have?
Rough figure.
The Honorable Minister of Public Administration.
You have it or you want it? How much? 60? I'm advised about 60.
60, great. Under line item 26, vacant posts, salaries and cost of living, how many would there be there, Honourable Minister?
Under 26?
Yes.
No, this is direct charges. Okay, just remember, if I could just distinguish
Sure.
for you. The vacant posts, wherever you see direct charges,
Right.
will be posts, for example, like state council.
Okay.
So those are people falling under SRC. So under that, how many do we have? We have how many? One state council.
So if you had to guide me and tell me how many, let's say, administrative vacant posts there are then?
08.
08?
Vacant posts
So let's say
without,
for administrative,
Yeah,
not for
without-
senior councils or anything like
yeah.
that.
No, without incumbents, you go to 08.
08. Okay. If it is that the service commissions can't even hire themselves, to man themselves, how does the service commission intend to do the work to hire other people for other ministries?
Mrs.
General-
Speaker, I
General-
feel that that's an opinion. I'm not sure if that is related to the
But
estimate.
if it is that the service commissions has these vacancies to fill their own positions, are they able to fill their own positions? I'm not asking for an opinion.
How many posts you have vacant?
So are you asking the Service Commission to, you're asking what time frame it will take
To fill their own
to
positions.
fill those
And
vacancies?
could the Honourable Minister tell us what are some of the reasons why the service commissions can't fill their own positions?
I'm advised.
Honourable Minister?
Yeah, I'm advised, Mr. Speaker, that in these cases here where we're talking about vacant posts without incumbents, that you have officers not yet qualified to move into these positions, these senior positions. So sometimes you have the vacant posts, but people are not qualified with the right qualifications, or they do not meet the requirements, and therefore until they meet the qualification requirements, then they can move into those posts.
So is it that one of the major reasons you are saying is that we don't have qualified persons to fill these positions?
In some cases, yes. This one, yes. Yes, I'm advised that we don't have the qualified people to fill those positions at this point.
But
In some
surely,
cases.
Minister, these positions are not positions that require a degree in rocket science. I'm really stunned to hear that with all this boast of 64% tertiary education participation rate, that we can't find administrative people in Trinidad and Tobago to fill administrative posts in the service commissions. And we boast that we have 64% participation rate in tertiary education.
Let him ask the question regarding
Yes. Any, Minister, would you like to respond to?
Mr. Speaker, I think during my budget presentation, I did try to treat with some of these challenges that we face, as we know, in all ministries. We know that the current system for promotions and so on are not based on, merit. It's not strictly merit as yet, and it is based on seniority for promotions, which are systems that we are trying to change. Honourable members would know from opposite that when they were in government, those were the same challenges that they faced. And hence, that is why, if you go back, you will see that this is the same trend that has obtained.
So has
I
any
think-
progress been made from 2010 to 2014?
In terms of that, and again, are we getting back into the budget debate?
Yes.
You
No
know, and
problem.
Minister, I think, Mr. Chairman, we would have a public administration committee for monitoring where we can discuss some of these issues, but we have started asking, looking at merit-based systems, implementation. It would require a review and a revision of the regulations. We have been doing some of that. We have started looking at advertising in and out. Again, the regulations have been revised. So these are now kicking in, member. But as you know, it takes time when we are dealing with a regulatory framework. And you'd also appreciate that the Service Commissions Department and the Personnel Department, they are recognized as independent bodies, constitutionally independent bodies. And as a result of that, it takes some time for us to discuss. I also mentioned, Mr. Speaker, a couple of years now, we've been talking about our Shrimp Council, the Strategic Human Resource Management Council, where we have been discussing some of these reform measures and taking them into consideration and are currently in implementation.
My last intervention, Chair. Surely, Minister, the role of independence of the Service Commission, in my view, does not excuse them or does not justify their tardiness. Independence from political interference, in my view, has nothing to do with their tardiness. Thank you.
Honourable members, Subhead 02, Goods and Services, Item 1, General Administration, St. Anne's.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I go to item number 62, promotions, publicity and printing. And through you, Mr. Chair, Madam Minister, I know I am aware of the advertisement for several jobs, because I know every week in the paper there are 2 days where you advertise a lot of jobs in the government service and service commission. Just this weekend had a lot of jobs. What I want to ask the member, are people responding to these ads? And if so, how is the recruitment and selection process going? Or is it that the ads are just placed and, you know, no persons in the HR department or no time to do recruiting? Because every single week there are always ads on the papers for positions in the government service in all the various ministries. I noticed in particular this last weekend there were a number of ads. How are these ads being addressed, and are you getting to fill the positions?
Okay, you are on 62, is that it?
Yes, but I know the advertisement will come under that.
Okay, these are
that
advertisements for established positions in ministries.
Right.
Okay, I would say that I know since I have been as Minister of Public Administration, even for the service commissions, we have had complaints, and Mr. Speaker, Parliament has also had complaints for the terms and the compensation remuneration packages not being adequate to attract people to the positions, and I think that's what you're getting at.
Yeah.
But the second issue you're referring to is contract positions, which is not under Service Commission's department. What you see ministries are advertising sometimes, you refer to many ministries, are contract positions. That too, when terms and conditions are determined for those contract positions, we are not finding many takers. However, I would like to indicate that since the Service Commission's department has started advertising recently, in and out, I think in the case of the customs officers, they had almost, how many was it? 15,000 applicants for customs officers. So you are finding people responding. So it has been a step-up process for the Service Commission's department to institute more panels, and you'll see the expenses higher in some areas for that reason, where you have had to have more interview panels, you have to go to Tobago and carry out more interviews and so on. So I just wanted to make sure that we got that distinction in terms of this one here in sub-item 62. We are talking about advertisements for established positions in the public service, not contract positions. What you're referring to are contract positions you're seeing advertised by ministries. So ministries will not advertise public service positions. Service commissions will advertise public service positions, and ministries will advertise their contract positions.
Okay, so just to piggyback on what the member for St. Joseph mentioned about the filling of positions, you identified a short list of staff, you know, that you need to do the work that you want to do. So is there some aggression being placed into really filling the positions?
Yes.
And so allow the commission and, you know, whoever to do their jobs?
Yes, we have had the selection centers. In fact, in Tobago, special interviews were carried out for just Tobago alone.
Okay.
So you will see the costs actually increasing as we go along. There are other items in here that you will note where there are increases because of those interview panels and so on that have to be set up.
Great.
We have more selection panels as well.
I recognize the honourable member for La Hocatel Talbaro.
Chair, on that same point with advertisement and recruitment, can the minister say what is the process by which the shortlisting occurs? For instance,
in the Land and Survey Division, department of my ministry, I've known that interview was done more than 2 years ago. Shortlisting was done, and it's only now they started filling the position. Have the ministry...
Which particular line are you on?
I'm on the same one with advertisement and
Okay, all right.
So have the ministry seek to engage newer technology by way of computerized system to assist them in the shortlisting and the recruitment after the advertisement is done, maybe an online application system and shortlisting?
Yes.
Talking about an electronic document management system, yes, there is a move to technology, but there wasn't much allocation this year under PSIP for that particular project. Yeah, so, you know, yes, there's been a move towards that, but if you want the details for what you're talking about with those positions 2 years ago, we can always forward that information to you. We don't have that information at this point in time.
All right, let's go to...
Chair.
Yes, Member for Couva North.
Under Goods and Services 990299 Employee Assistance Program, could you explain a little bit about what that is?
All ministries carry an employee assistance program. You know, your ministry would also have that as an EAP. You know, that is where employees themselves, if there are problems, they are able to meet with an expert, but it is done in a confidential way. No one knows who they are. In this particular case, are you asking who is the EAP? No? What is an EAP? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
What is the program?
Yes.
All ministries have an EAP program. So this is why this is here. If you look at the estimates under all ministries, you'll see an estimate for EAP. It's again a program that allows for you know, employees to access these services, and it's confidential in nature.
All right, we go to item 2, Tobago Services. Item 3, Public Service Commission. Item 4, Teaching Service Commission. Item 5, Judicial and Legal Service Commission. Item 6, Police Service Commission. Subhead 03, Minor Equipment Purchases.
Sorry, just Teaching Service Commission.
Yes.
Just to go back, 04.
Item 4.
Yes, item
Quickly.
4. Hosting of conferences, seminars, and other functions. The estimates for that, I'm seeing 200,000. Can you say when these, or how often these activities take place within?
Is it in one location or many locations? Okay, there's a conference for school principals, annual school supervisors, seminars with managers of school boards and stakeholders. And that the conferences are held once a year, seminars as well for the managers of school boards once a year.
So it's funded solely by Service Commission, nothing to do with Ministry of Education in terms of funding?
No, this is by Service Commission.
All right, great.
Well, the
thanks.
Teaching Service Commission.
Teaching Service Commission, right.
All right, we go to subhead 03, Minor Equipment Purchases. Item 1, General Administration. Item 2, Tobago Services. We go to the Development Program. Subhead 09, Development Program. Item 5, Multisectorial and Other Services. Honorable members, the question is at a sum of $91,021,200 for Head 6 Service Commissions stand part of the schedule. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. The sum of $91,021,200 for Head 6, the Service Commissions, now stands part of the schedule. Thank you very much, members of the Service Commission. We now proceed to the Statutory Authority Service Commission.
Let me just thank the DPA, the Director of Public Administration, and her deputy, Ms. Creed, for being here today with her, together with her staff.
Thank you. Yes. Statutory Authorities Service Commission. Honorable members, the question is that a sum of $554,200 for Head 7, the Statutory Authorities Service Commission, stand part of the schedule. Honourable members, the sum of $6,554,200 for Head 7, the Statutory Authorities Service Commission, is comprised of monies proposed for expenditure under the following subheads and items to be found in the draft estimates of recurrent expenditure. Subhead 01, Personal Expenditure, Item 1, General Administration. Subhead 2, Goods and Services, Item 1, General Administration. Subhead 3, Minor Equipment Purchases, Item 1, General Administration. Honourable members, the question is that a sum of $6,554,500 for Head 7, Statutory Authorities Service Commission, stand part of the schedule. Those in favour say aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. A sum of $6,554,200 for Head 7, the Statutory Authorities Service Commission, now stands part of the schedule. Thank you very much, members of the Statutory Service
Mr. Speaker, let me
Authority.
just thank Ms. Charlene Phillip, the Executive Officer of the Statutory Service Commission, and her deputy for being here with us today.
Thank you very much. Well, they went far and they went past you.